everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be ranking all 9 March 2014 movies I saw ranked. So we're just going to get straight into it, because why not? So starting off, we have the Grand Budapest Hotel. For me, great tier. I enjoyed this movie. It was an enjoyable movie. I gave it a 85% in a 4 out of 5 stars. It has a great cast to this movie, don't get me wrong. The cast is absolutely amazing. From Ralph Fiennes to F. Murray Abraham to Tony Revolori to Adrian Brody, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, Edward Norton, Jude Law, Bill Murray. Great cast, and directed by Wes Anderson, who is a phenomenal director. But yeah, I love the Grand Budapest Hotel. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's one of the best things that Wes Anderson has done for me personally, but it was a fun movie. Next up, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Good tier. I enjoy this movie. It was enjoyable. I liked the kind of aspect to the film about, traveling to different times of the world and trying to fix it and all that. Yeah, great cast. Ty Burrell is Mr. Peabody. He was in Modern Family, if you have seen that. And he was also in a film that I also saw in this month, and directed by Rob Minkoff, who directed The Lion King, which is awesome. Stuart Little, and Stuart Little 2, in Haunted Mansion. So he did direct some good movies. But for me, good tier. Like I said. Next up, we have Muppets Most Wanted. Okay tier. I mean, this movie's okay, let's be honest. It's not one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's definitely a step down from the first Muppets, but it was an enjoyable movie. It has a great cast to this. A great cast. From Ricky Gervais, Ty Burrell, Tina Fey, and then the cast of The Muppets. And directed by James Bobbin, who directed the original The Muppets, Alice Through the Looking Glass, and Dora and the Lost City of Gold. So, he has directed a few good movies. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It was enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's anything special, just fine enough, I would say. And then next up we have Divergent. Now for me, Divergent, I'm going to put this again on the okay tier. I'm not a huge fan of the first Divergent movie, but it has a great cast. Shailene Woodley, Theo James, Zoe Kravitz, Miles Teller, Jai Courtney, Ansel Elgort, and directed by Neil Burger, if that's how you say it, who directed Divergent, Limitless, The Illusionist, The Upside, and Voyages. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Divergent, it was fine for what it was. It wasn't anything special or amazing. It was just fine. Would I watch it again? Probably, but I wouldn't say it's a definite recommend, because it is boring in most of the movie. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say. And then, so that's on the okay tier. And then next we have Noah, which is going on the meh tier. I'm not a huge fan of Noah. I've never been a huge fan of Noah. I like the cast. From Russell Crowe to Jennifer Connelly to Emma Watson to Logan Lerman to Anthony Hopkins. And directed by Darren Aronofsky, who is a fantastic director, who directed Black Swan, Requiem for a Dream, The Whale, Mother, The Wrestler, and yeah, he has directed a few good movies. But yeah, Noah could have worked way better than what it was, but it was just a little bit of an upset for me because, I've never been a huge fan of this movie either way. But yeah, next up we have a movie called Sabotage. Bad tier. I really can't remember anything that happens in this movie. This movie was just stupid. But it has a great cast, from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Sam Worthington to Olivia Williams to Joe Manganiello, and directed by David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad, Fury, which I'll be watching later on, Bright, so it has directed a few good movies. But Sabotage was just a boring movie. I really can't remember anything that happens in this movie that I think of. No, nothing. It was just a waste of my time. A boring movie, and I'm probably not gonna rewatch this movie for a long time. Next up, Need for Speed. Bad tier, unfortunately. I wasn't a huge fan of Need for Speed. Has a great cast, from Aaron Paul to Dominic Cooper. You got Michael Keaton, Rami Malek, Kid Cudi, directed by Scott Ward, who is going to be directing The Expendables 4, so that's exciting. And he directed a movie called Act or Valor. I don't know what the movie is, but yeah, Need for Speed, just a car racing movie that didn't really work for me, but I like Aaron Paul as the main character. He was good, but yeah, the movie could have worked better, but unfortunately, was not as good as what I would have liked it to be. But yeah, next up we have a movie called Veronica Mars, another bad movie. Yeah, this month has been probably like one of the worst months that I've watched. But Veronica Mars, I can't even remember what even happened in this movie. It stars Christian Bale, like, come on. And the guy from How I Met Your Father, if you've seen that, called Chris Lau. He's a great actor, and directed by Rob Thomas, who has only directed Veronica Mars, which is good for him because he wasn't that great at directing, unfortunately. But yeah, the movie could have worked way better than what it was. It was just bland, about a murder mystery. Because I love my murder mysteries, but for me, this movie, it just didn't really work, unfortunately. Like, it really disappointed me, because I love my murder mysteries, but this one, unfortunately, didn't work. And then lastly, we have 300 Rise of an Empire, and this is going to be the last one. That's again going on the bad tier. 300 Rise of an Empire. Nothing really. I can't even remember anything that happened in this movie. It was just a bland movie. It's just a boring movie. The director directed a movie I have seen before called Watership Down, and I think the movie was good. But yeah, it's a movie that I probably am not gonna rewatch. But yeah, I wish it could have been better than what it was, because I would have liked it, because I enjoyed the first 300 movie, but the sequel did not work. Anyway, let's get into this little ranking to end it all off. So, at number 9 we have 300 Rise of an Empire. Boring movie. 8 we have Veronica Mars. Could have worked better. 7 we have Need for Speed. Again, could have been better. 6 we have Sabotage. Meh. 5, Noah. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of that movie. 4, Divergent. I used to like this movie, to be honest. 3 is Muppets Most Wanted. Even though it was a meh movie, it's number 3, which is surprising. Number 2 is Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Another meh movie. And then number 1 is The Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, this is probably like one of the weakest months for me. Not a month that I really enjoyed whatsoever. Just a boring month that I wish it could have been better. But yeah, that's all what I gotta say for this month. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, or listening, sorry. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, take care. Peace.